father's place. It's not my fault, don't walk away, 'cause I don't quite know what you're running from. 'Cause all my friends, they think I'm fun. You take yourself too seriously. I don't wanna hear you say we waste
Hello friends, I'm here today to welcome you to a brand new vlog, and today we are going to be doing manga. As you've probably seen at the b-roll in the beginning, I've gone through my shelves and picked a couple of manga. Some of them I'm continuing series, some a brand new series to me physically. One I started, actually two I started watching online. Three, four, 1, 2, I don't know. Actually, yeah, 4 out of 5 I've started watching at least online. So we're gonna go with Call of the Night by Kotoyama, Volume 1. I got this with some Waterstones points when we were in London, last time we were in London. And not gonna lie, it looks like it's gonna be good. Should we have a look at the back? Nizuna is a vampire. Done. That's okay with Human Ko. He wants to be one too, but transformation doesn't come that easily. One sleepless night, Ko slips out to walk the streets. Life after dark is a revelation. When flirtatious Nizuna invites Ko to spend the night at her place in an abandoned building, he's stoked. But then he awakens to kisses on his neck with a little too much bite to them. Is it just the delicious taste of his blood that makes him meet him night after night for late night adventures, conversations and naps, or something else? Then when a cute girl from Ko's past shows up and competes for his attention, his budding relationship with the undead is put to the test. So it's kind of like fantasy, but also kind of a bit of romance as well. So I kind of like that vibe. And yeah, we're going to go for Mashal Volume 2. If you don't know, Mashal is a mashup of magic and muscle. Our lovely MC Mash, this is not Mash, lives in a world where everybody has magic apart from him. So he, and not having magic is bad. So he's been raised to use muscles instead, and he's been told to train every single day to build up his muscles so he can use his physical strength. And this is absurd. So some of his physical feats of strength are equivalent to certain magic. It sounds really daft, and this is heavily inspired by the author we do not name, and the series we can't talk about if you are not interested in discussing TERFs. But if you want that kind of fix, but you don't want to associate with the author and that series for reasons obviously, then you could totally tell that this is inspired by that, just by like the magic school vibe, like the outfits that they wear, and the game that is heavily inspired by the Quidditch, where they fly around on brooms and try and, yeah, it's just, there's no hiding it, and I don't think the author would have has hidden the fact that they take it. This is by Hajime Komoto, by the way. And then I'm finally getting to Zone 100. This was gifted to me, and I think it was by Tori actually. Is it by Tori? I'm guessing, yeah. Tori gifted me this. She also gifted a gem, and this is about a boy called Akira. Is it called Akira? Akira. I've seen some of these series of this, and I've also seen Mashal, like first 2 seasons or full season, I can't remember. But yeah, this is about Akira, who hates his job, literally lives to work, sometimes doesn't sleep, works for like days on end, and you can slowly see the bags under his eyes and the way that he like hates his life. And then a zombie apocalypse happens, and he realises that he doesn't have to work again, and he is overjoyed. And then he writes a list of things that he wants to do. The first of which is to just live about and drink beer. And it's just, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Shenanigans occur. Next up, we're going for a bit of a contemporary vibe. This is Romantic Killer. So this follows a girl called Anzu, who literally all she does is play video games. and then something happens. So there's a slight fantastical element, because I've seen a series of this. So there's a slight fantastical element, but then like she's made to interact with people, and it's not something she's used to, and then she meets boys, and then she's like, oh my god, feelings and things. So this is a slight fantastical element because of the reason why she's pushed into getting out in the world, like physically with people and being social, but it's predominantly just following her coming to terms with like socialising with people, making friends. And I'm making it sound really boring, but it's not. It's really good. The series are really good. And now I'm even more intrigued to see this in colour. I don't know how many volumes of this there are, but Meg gifted me both volumes that I have currently of this. So thank you, Meg, for this. It's encouraged me to read the series. I also need to find out when the next series is available on the Tinterwebs. And then we've got Tokyo Ghoul Volume 2. So Tokyo Ghoul follows a boy called Ken. And I don't really want to tell you anything other than that. He lives in a world where there are ghouls. Ghouls are bad. And that is all I want to say, because I don't want to spoil something that happens in Volume 1. These are quite thick volumes, and they're taller than some of the other manga. So, like, that's a normal manga. This is taller and thicker. So quite a lot can get packed into one volume, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone that is interested in it. So yeah, there's so much manga. Now that I'm reading all these synopses and like getting involved in this again, it makes me want to go back to my manga list and just like purchase loads of manga that I have saved on my manga wish list, but I can't. The way that these are now, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll do that, and then we'll get my phone, and we will do a random number generator, and that will decide what I pick up first. So I've got random number generator up. My brightness is too bright. I've generated a couple of times just so that it gets it going. So I've got Zone 100 is 1. Romantic Killer is 2, Tokyo Ghoul is 3, Call of the Night is 4, and Marshall is 5. Let's press 1. Zone 100! Let's go! And this is quite a short one, so we're just gonna dive right into this, and we'll see what we see when we see it. And I will give you my thoughts, feelings, and ponderances. And I know that you're probably thinking you've watched the series so you'll love the manga. Not the case. I watched One Punch Man, read the manga, didn't like the manga, and I was just stuck with the series. So it translates differently. Like the vibes are not necessarily going to be given off in the same way. So there's no guarantee just because I love the series that I'm going to love the manga. Just putting it out there. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I left my phone at my brother's place. It's not my fault, don't walk away, 'cause I don't quite know what you're running from. 'Cause all my friends, they think I'm fun. You take yourself too seriously.
Hi. Hello. So, Zone 100. Wow, you are in a weird position. We're just gonna do that. So Zone 100 has been read 5 stars. I loved the series, and this is one that is just as good in the manga as it is in the series. And some of the things that I read in here, I don't know, I found them funny in the anime when I watched it, but for some reason, just, I don't know, it's because I could hear his voice in my head. When I was reading it, I was laughing out loud at this. And like Jem's mentioned it before, so at the end they have like little quotes, like this is from the author and this is from the artist. And Jem was saying how the author is called, what's he called? Harawaso, he has quite deep and meaningful quotes, and then the artist is just like, carpe diem, get the most out of life by picturing what you want to do and going for it, just like Akira and the others. And I love it. I love reading those, especially when Jen pointed it out. I don't know if other manga authors and artists do that. I never really read the back pages. Once I've read the story, I just close it. So I might see if any other ones do that, because it's pretty cool. Anyway, on to the next one. So I haven't moved these out of order, so we still have 4 left. We have Romantic Killers, Tokyo Ghoul, Call the Night and Mashal. So we have 4 left. We're gonna go with the number generator again. Can you see that? Can you see that? There you go. We're gonna go again. We're gonna spin it a few times to make sure it goes, and then we'll one. That feels like it's boring. I'm just gonna end up going from the top to the bottom. This is Romantic Killer, and this is the one that had colour pictures through it. So it is back to front, so it's a normal manga, I think. I don't know if there's a special word for colour manga, because I've never seen a coloured manga. That sounds weird, but I've seen manhwa, like Solo Leveling, but you read that front to back like a normal book, whereas this is back to front, but it's not black and white. So is it still called manga? I don't know. I'm pondering on this. When you don't know, probably. If you do know, let me know. I am gonna read this and relive the awkwardness that is the main character. What's she called? Anzu. Yeah, she's called Anzu. And seeing these covers is making me want to rewatch the show. And I actually might do, because she's adorable, and the boys are adorable, and everything's just, what is the word? Adorable. So I'm going.
Don't wanna hear you say we waste our time. Cause you're the one who's going home to be all alone, watching cooking shows. You take yourself too seriously. I'm fine.
We're back. So I finished Romantic Killer Volume 1, and I want to rewatch the series even more now. She's just great. Anzu's great. Riri, the magic fairy, is great, and there's just shenanigans. One of the things I like about manga is that it's just so ridiculous, and a lot of the manga, they are quite self-aware as well. So in this, the aim is for it to literally be like a shoujo manga. That's what it says. They wanted to make it like a romance manga, and it's self-aware in that way, and I love it when manga is like that. And or when, obviously, depending on whether it's manga or anime first, I love it when it's like that. So yeah, I will be picking up the rest of this series, and I really just love that it's in colour. And it's great. So this is also 5 stars. She's a gamer, she loves chocolate, and that's all she does. She sacrifices a social life for gaming and chocolate and her cat, Momojito, and that's just adorable. And then a new game arrives, and the fairy pops out and is like, surprise! I'm here to give you a romance because the population and reproduction rates are dwindling. It could only happen in a manga. And then the fairy causes loads of problems and forces her into the path of hot guys. And yes, it is a lot of manga and anime. It is very heavily like the girl needs to be the damsel in distress and da 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 da. So if it's not your thing, I get it. But for me, this is just, I have watched the series, so I know that this at no point will make me cry. This is just a type of fun, contemporary style with a sprinkle of fantasy that is just such an easy, quick, fun read. There's some comical moments in it. In typical anime manga style, it's just over dramatic with all the expressions and like convenient things happen, and it's what I don't like in novels is what I like in this kind of thing. It's like you've got to suspend your disbelief, it's absurd, you've just got to just go with the flow. It's just another layer of fun. So we now have Tokyo Ghoul, Call the Night and Mashal. See what comes up next. Is it gonna focus? 3. Ooh, so number 3 in the pile is Mashal. And this is volume 2. I've already read volume 1. Did I tell you what this was about? Yeah, so Mash lives in a world where there's magic. Everyone has magic apart from him, and if you have magic you have marks somewhere on your face, and the amount of marks you have sort of indicates how strong you are, and he doesn't have any marks and he has no magic. So the one day something happens where he has to, I say infiltrate a magic school, but they want to get him to a point where he's like the best in the school at magic, the magic that he doesn't have. So he uses his muscles instead, because he is ridiculously strong to a point where, again, it's absurd. Flying on a broom, you wouldn't think you could do that if you were magic, but he does it, and there's a way that he does it, and I'm not gonna spoil it by telling you, but it's great. I'm gonna go read it now because I want to get back to meet him. I'm guessing we meet him in this volume, but I'm just loving this. This is just fun. This is just fun. This is why we read manga. Unless it's AOT that makes you cry. But that's a different vibe. This is the vibe I'm going for now. Yeah. Who's the best? I'm the best. Oh yeah. Namami no mamu quero tokomade. To the next, to the each way. Now singing bling bang bang bling bang bang bling bang bang bone. Bling bang bang bling bang bang bling bang bang bone. Bling bang bang bling bang bang bling bang bang bone. To the next, to the each way. Hey, I'm coming at you from the same place again. It is a different day, but it is what it is, and we're coming in with an update on this bad boy. So I have seen, well, last time I checked, it is everything that's currently released in the anime of this, and I thought it was funny anyway. Looking back, when we meet Lance and Dot in this manga, everything just made me laugh out loud even more. And Mash, he's so fucking dumb. It's adorable, and you can't help but laugh at him, and everything is so dramatic. Dot and Lance, in fact, they're all really, really dramatic. And I've mentioned this before, that with manga, most of the time, if not all the time, you have to suspend your disbelief. There's a lot of fantasy elements involved. Like I mentioned before, this is very much HP inspired, so obviously there's lots of magic involved. But the personalities of all the characters, they are very extreme. So Lance, I'm not going to tell you what his extreme thing is, or what any of them are really, but whatever they feel everything to like 100%. If it's love, they are in love. If they are happy, they are 100% the happiest person alive at that moment, and they would like everyone to know. And if they're crying, they are devastated, bawling, ugly crying, and it could be the most minor thing, but the whole world is crumbling because of this like one little thing. But I think that, for me, is what makes it so much more funny. All I'm gonna say is cream puffs. If you are interested in this at all, I highly recommend you pick it up. Like, I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of explaining it. There's a scene in this where Mash just be mashing, and He's a vibe. I just, if you've read this or watched this anime, please message me, because I need someone else to talk about this too. I've spoken to Jim about it. I need. I actually opened it and like I took a picture of one of the panels and I was like, Mashi's so dumb. Why? It's just, I laugh out loud so much, and this is like reignited my love for the show that I just want to go put it back on. But I watched Jem's vlog where she did like the D&D classes, and there's 2 manga on the, actually, yeah, 2 manga on there that she's put on my radar. One was Platinum something, or was Platinum Sin, I think it's called, and Fairy Tail. I have had my eye on Fairy Tail for a while, and I was unsure whether or not I wanted to try and read it because it's one of the older manga, and as we all know, if you've read any manga in general, but especially some of the older stuff, there's a lot of like female objectification, short tight clothes, slightly pervy attitude. Some manga and anime, it's sort of like they're very self-aware and they'll call themselves out on it, others don't. And I know that that's a massive stumbling point for people watching / reading manga and anime in general. And that's one of the things that I feel like as it's progressed and more people have become like aware of the different types of manga and things, that the recent things that are coming out, there's still some objectification there of like both males and females, but I feel like it's less so in the later releases. But anyway, that's a whole other topic we could discuss at a later time. But I do think that if you want something fun with magic, characters that you will immediately just fall in love with, that are just so extreme, that it's just a ride and it's a vibe, and I'm so excited to continue this series. I do have up to volume 11 now of this on my wish list. I still have volume 3 to read, and I just wish I had the money to get the rest of the series, because I want it all. And we do only have 2 manga left. I can get it right now. We have Call of the Night and we have Tokyo Ghoul volume 2. I think I'm gonna go with Call of the Night. If I watch this back and it's not that long, I'll probably read Tokyo Revengers volumes 3 and 4 as well, but I'm gonna pick up Call of the Night and see what this is. I'm hoping it's good. In a way I'm hoping it's good, and in a way I'm like, eh, because if it's good it means I'm gonna want to get it if it's like a 4 or a 5, and I don't quite have the space. If it's not good, it means I've got to find somewhere to unhaul it. But yeah, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. We're gonna go with Call of the Night first, and I will be back with you when I have an update. Hello. We are back. I've finished Call of the Night, and I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. So there's a boy called Ko, and he has no friends. He doesn't go to school. He stopped going to school. His parents are absent for some reason, which seems to be the thing in manga and anime, and also fantasy in general. The things that I read, absentee parents seems to be a thing. But basically, he has insomnia, so he goes out one night to try and walk it off and like try and make himself sleepy. And he comes across, I don't know how you pronounce the name, he calls her Nazuna, but she's called Nazuna Nanakusa, I think that's her full name, and she is a vampire, and it's not what you expect of vampires. So he wants to be one. He decides that he's lost his love for everything, or his enjoyment of everything, and that's why he stopped going to school. Like, he stopped enjoying everything. He was never interested in any of the girls that used to approach him because he used to be popular, and he, for the first time in a while, has decided that he actually wants to do something, and that thing is to become a vampire. But there's a certain way you become a vampire which is not what you think would be the case. So I do like that twist on it. He then comes across a girl he used to be friends with, who may or may not be attracted to him in that way. The one thing I would say is this is Code 14. There's a lot of innuendo in this, and we all know I love a good innuendo, but he's 14, and it does make me feel a little bit uncomfy when they talk about sex. They don't, just putting it out there for other people that you don't worry about. There's no actual like sex involved or anything that is illegal in any way, shape or form. But there is a lot of innuendo, and I know that 14-year-olds, especially these days, you know, but it's still not legal, and it still makes you feel slightly comfy. What I might do is, I don't want this to be like the Ancient Magus Bride, because that did become very uncomfy to read, because she was 15 and he was like wanting to make her his bride, and it was like, I'm gonna see if I can find volume 2 online, and if it doesn't cross that line, I will purchase the rest of it. But I did give this 4 stars. I did really enjoy it, and I'm interested to see a bit more, like the way that the whole vampire thing works, but also it's like, it is more of like a contemporary in the sense that it's a bit of like love story and romance potentially involved. I will keep that for now, and I will continue it. I will be now moving on to Tokyo Ghoul Volume 2. Volume 1 was great. I really enjoyed Volume 1. And this is a bit bigger and a bit thicker than other manga, so it might take a little bit longer to read. I'm really excited to continue this series. And they are more expensive. That's the only downside of collecting manga, is that even the little ones are expensive to buy. This was like £9, £8 for this. Anyway.
I left my keys at my cousin's house. He says I need to leave you cause you're bringing me down, and you're all worked up cause I got home late.
Hello friends, I'm back to tell you I have read volumes 3 and 4 of Tokyo Revengers and volume 2 of Tokyo Ghoul, and this is finally concluding this stupidly long manga vlog that was supposed to be done in a week and is just spread over an inordinate amount of time that didn't need to be done over, but it is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Ratings 5, 5 and 5, because there's 2 volumes there. Also, I immediately want to read volumes 5 and 6. And then I need volume 3 of this. So with this, I've seen the anime further along than this, but also it was a while ago now, and I've read / watched a lot of things between now and then and now. No, I still haven't finished AOT. Do not come for me, Jem. And Tokyo Ghoul, if you don't know what Tokyo Ghoul is, where have you been? And why haven't you seen Jem's videos? Joking. But yeah, Tokyo Ghoul follows a boy who, something happens and he becomes part ghoul. And that's not a spoiler because it's in the first volume and it's the whole concept of the series. And they live in a world where there are lots of ghouls. That's it. Really, that's all I can say. Stuff happens. And so far, I'm really intrigued about how he's going to navigate this world because, sorry, I didn't even tell you the main character's name. The main character is called Kaneki, and nobody likes the ghouls, obviously, because they eat humans, and he is trying to live out his life as normal as possible and not let any of his human friends find out and family find out what's happened. But also he needs to come to terms with everything, really. That's very vague. So this one, Tokyo Revengers, is about a young boy called Takamichi. This is Draken. He is a favourite for me. And if you read/watched this, you know why. There's also Mikey, who is a tad unhinged, but also really good. And there's Takemichi, and they call him Takemichi, and it's just great. So Takemichi, his life isn't what he expected it to be, or what he wanted it to be. I think he's in his mid-20s, I think, when we start this series. He doesn't have a career, and he turns on the news and finds out that Hina, his previous one and only girlfriend actually, has been killed by a group that he used to be a part of. But when Takemichi was younger, this group were just delinquents. They were just doing petty things, little rival delinquent groups, and they were just like fighting each other. It wasn't serious, it was nothing like murder, it was just kids acting out and sort of like, you know, that kind of thing. And some of the people that he met through that gang, you want to call it gang, he doesn't understand how the people that he knew could turn in to the types of people that would commit murder. Something happens whereby he gets a chance, multiple chances, to potentially change a course of events that could potentially save Hina. Poor Takemichi. He tries his damnedest. He really does. That's all I can say. He tries very hard to correct things, but you know, this very much reminds me of the film The Butterfly Effect. I'm curious to find out how the whole series ends, at what point we're going to find ourselves. I don't know. With this one, I'm curious to see where they take the story, because if you've seen The Butterfly Effect, you know how that ends. I know this is fantasy, it's fiction, it's whatever, but in my mind, it's like the butterfly effect is a thing. Like, I don't really believe that you can change the fate of what happens to people. And if you went back in time to stop one thing from happening, fate would find another way to correct the course that you had stopped. That makes sense. So if something's meant to happen and you stop it from happening, fate will find another way to make it happen, whether it's a different way but the ending would be the same. So if someone ends up being unalived, they would be unalived but maybe in a different way, because you stopped the original path, if that makes sense. That might make sense. But I do believe that is a thing, and I don't think that you could ever change it. If there was a possibility, not there would be, that you could go back in time, I don't think it would be safe to do that. So as much as I am loving the characters, I still don't know how it's I'm literally only on volume 4 and I don't know how many volumes are out, but I just feel like I don't know how it's gonna end, and in my mind it's not gonna end well, of the whole butterfly effect thing. Anyway, yeah, that was just a rambly clip. That was just me rambling. I hope some of that made sense. Anyway, if you want more coherent thoughts and synopses of both mangas, check Gem's channel out, or ask Gem. She'll be able to give you a better, more concise synopsis. I'm really tired and I shouldn't have filmed a vlog clip this late, but I didn't finish my vlog, so here's me finishing the vlog. If you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And if you're here and you want to let me know you're here, then please leave a black heart, very much appreciated. And until next time, enjoy whatever you're reading, watching, or doing. I'll see you all soon.
I left my phone at my brother's place.